Alright, so I've been seeing a lot of people in server having a lot of trouble with this map called Kitsune. Now, for someone who's just starting Kitsune, or surf in general, this is usually their first map. I shouldn't say starting Kitsune. For someone who's just starting surf, this is usually someone's first map. And for a beginner, it is difficult. Whenever I started, I had a lot of trouble trying to beat this map. Now I'm a little better, and I'm gonna show you what I've learned throughout the however so many years I've been surfing, to teach you how to beat this map, get a new PB possibly if you already have the time, and yeah, just learn how to have fun. Reminders though, before we start, remember whenever surfing, you don't want to use your wrist, because what that basically does is that using your wrist will cause repetitive strain, and it can cause things such as carpal tunnel, and that's basically whenever a tendon starts like squeezing on your wrist and it hurts a lot. I've had it. Not fun. Not fun whatsoever. So surf with your elbow, if that makes sense. Now to the tutorial. So reminder, you shouldn't be watching this video if your time is under 2 or 3 minutes. This is just for someone just starting out surf and wanting to beat this map. So there's some fundamentals that you should already know, such as being on the right side of the ramp, hold A. Being on the left side of the ramp, of course, you hold D. Now, here are things that most people won't tell you, which is air strafing. Now, air strafing is one of the most fundamental parts of surfing that I feel like nobody talks about when they're teaching a beginner, just because it's kind of difficult for someone to grasp when they're just finding out a game with these weird mechanics that make no sense. Like, why does this game exist? I do know the answer to that, but I'm gonna act like I don't, just for sakes of this. Alright, now air strafing. Now, most people will tell you when you start like learning how to b-hop, which you should learn how to b-hop before you learn how to surf, is that whenever you want to strafe to the right, you hold D while jumping. So like, see how I'm not like moving anywhere when I'm just doing that? Whenever you move your mouse to the right with D, like this, making some sort of like curve, then you start gaining speed, and you can turn that into forward energy. But now, you're going this way, and you gotta go that way. You wanna go forward. So what you can do, of course, you might have guessed it, and you can skip ahead if you already know how to b-hop. You can go press A and move left. Now you're starting to get some sort of line forward. You're going in a direction that you want to go, and then you can start speeding it up once you get more synced. Remember, try to be as sync as possible with D and A. So the second, not even the second, like the millisecond that you hold down D, your hand should be moving right. See how that's like nearly instantaneous? That one wasn't, but... And then you can start to go faster, where in turn you gain more speed, and then you can start getting into even faster strafes, and then so on and so on, and then you could go pro. But yeah, two things that can help you with this, as you've might have noticed that you won't really have in R-Surf, is this called a gauge, and this show keys. Now to turn these on, you want to type /GAUGE gauge. That should turn on and off gauge. Use it once to turn it on, use it twice to turn it off. and show keys. It should all be one word with a / at the beginning. And yeah, it'll show you what I'm doing, and it'll help you fix your strafes and stuff. Now, once you got that down, which hopefully you do, then you can start trying to be fast here. Alright, so of course you want to air strafe at the beginning, because the whole point of air strafing at the beginning is just so you can gain speed, and also you could also align yourself to land smoother on a ramp. Now, you might be noticing that I'm turning away from a ramp, and that's because if you turn into a ramp, you slam into it, and you can lose a ton of speed by doing that, and you don't want that whatsoever. So you want to land away from the ramp and then catch yourself. So strafe right, go away, and then go up. Alright? And then once you're at this gap here, you want to press D and then go right. You want to go up the ramp a little bit. I'm getting all over the place. You want to go here, go up just a little bit, hold D, and then you should fall on this ramp. And once you feel like you're on the ramp, hold A, and then you should be going up. So all that together should look like this. Congratulations, you beat red. An oversimplified explanation of how to do red. Now orange, dude, one ramp, come on. Yellow. This can get hard for some people, because whenever you don't know what air strafing is, what are you supposed to do? If you don't air strafe right, this is what happens. You start looking like this. You start like trying to move without moving, if that makes sense. Now remember what I showed you earlier with air strafing, where moving right in the air will move your character right, and moving left will move it left. And in turn of that, if you do it properly, by moving your mouse fast enough to where it's in the you're just starting, so I'd say around here. And then if possible, here. But so if you can't move your arm just that fast yet, and to prevent you from getting any injury, try your goal here. And you want to optionally air strafe at the beginning. And red, you can also optionally air strafe. And you want to go down this ramp like this, go up, and then strafe right into the next ramp. So that should look like this. Now you might have some trouble with that, and that's perfectly okay. That's part of learning. Just remember, you have to believe in yourself, and you'll get through it. Yeah, just gotta keep pushing. Now you remember, flick up there. I don't know if I said that. You want to go up, flick up, go here, go flick up a little here. So just at every ramp you want to flick up just a little bit, and then go up like that. And try to make this corner your goal. Alright. Now for green. For green, most people's instinct would be to go here. That would make sense, right? But it is also hard. Now if you can do that, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Keep doing that. But if you can't do that, it's perfectly fine to keep holding A, go left, and then go here. Now that was a little rough patch, but once you get better at it, by catching yourself on the ramp, straightening yourself out, and then landing on the ramp and then flicking up, you can start gaining momentum. But that's for later on, whenever you can beat the map. Yeah, when you can beat the map, whenever that is. I'll be posting another video where I explain how to do the pro route And then you can try your luck at that. But the skips for that is kind of hard, and I don't recommend watching it for at least a couple months while you're learning. Alright, now for Cyan. Cyan can be a little tricky. Most people, they flick up way too high. I didn't flick up high at all, but most people, their tendencies is to flick up this high, try to go here, there, and then they miss. That's not the point of this. You want to not do that. How do I say this? You want to, like, instead of rising at this corner, like at yellow and green, you want to start flight around here. So you want to go down, go up a little bit, and then you should be releasing around that point. So that should look like this. And then you should be able to catch that ramp there and then flick up again. Don't be afraid to go straight here, because remember that this is a straight line and this is a downwards line. So actually going from this corner to this corner won't do much because you're just going in a straight line. So that's why you want to go here and then go a little higher and then flick up here. And that should give you enough leeway to go crisscross here and then landing on the ramp. Now, once you beat this stage, then you, of course, blue. For blue, airstrafe. Now, if you don't know how to airstrafe at least 5 or 6 times at this start, then that's fine. You can airstrafe 2 times. You can airstrafe 1 time. But I wouldn't recommend 1. I almost restarted. I wouldn't recommend 1. I would just recommend 2 just to start off. So left, right, and then land. I guess that was 3. But whatever. You know what I mean. So now here. What a lot of people do here is they flick up and then they go down and then they start going really fast and they miss this ramp. You don't want to do that. You also might see people do the spin. If I could go there. Now, yeah, the spin is fine. In some cases it's faster. In a lot of cases it's faster, but it's also hard. Because not a lot of people might have 18 to 24 inches of mouse space, and if you do the spin. If you don't, in the future, you want a bigger mouse pad. Especially if you want to start surfing more. But if you don't, that's fine. Just go down here. Go to the right, and then zigzag, and then land. Then you should go to purple. Now, purple. So, from blue, you would usually want to hold spacebar and keep your momentum and then fling into purple, but sometimes that's kind of hard to control. So, you could just stop here, slow down. It's possible by doing it this slow. It's just a little harder. So, I'd recommend going forward and trying your best to complete with the speed that you have there. And if you can, that's great. And if you're going like, let's say you're going this fast. Around this fast out the portal. Then you want to do something like that. Now, just saying that is lunacy. What I mean by this is by going down the ramp, bottoming out near the middle of where you're landing, and then just like in light blue or cyan, you want to flick up here, and then that should give you the perfect angle to land on the next ramp. Now, it can be kind of frustrating at times because you're going through this tiny hole trying to hit this tiny ramp. It's impossible, you might be telling yourself, but once you get the hang of it, it's like, there we go. Then the same fundamentals, and then flick lightly there. What a lot of people want to do is that they have the ideology that bigger flicks mean bigger jump, and that's not the case. Not the case whatsoever. What actually is better is more prepared flicks will make you go higher. And in this case, since I want to go far, I go down and I prepare myself by going up slowly, and then slowly start going up and up and up until I get that perfect trajectory. Go here. Now pink. With pink, yeah, I can see why this can be hard for someone, especially if you're stopping a stage by stage. You can try to do pink. It won't be that easy without the momentum, but of course, like every other stage, you can do it without that initial speed. Now for here, you might want to stand in the back here, especially if you're just starting. You want to do some B-hops, go straight forward, land smoothly, facing away from the ramp, and then catching yourself. And then, like in red, air strafe to the right. I don't know why I B-hopped, but just pretend I air strafe to the right. Now the route for this little weird part here is by going up and then going through those like openings here. And if you're going the other way, you can go that way. So all you got to do is just like boom, bam, only like one turn every, I say, two walls. Okay? Now for white. White is going to be a lot of pressure here. And it's going to be kind of hard for me to show you. But I'll try to show you with the best of my ability. So, here. For white, you can start back here if you want. If you're comfortable B-hopping at the start, that's totally fine. If this is your first time, might as well. It's not going to be like 1 minute or under a minute. Now, just like on the other stages where I'm telling you to like go here, but in this case you want to hit this corner. So you can go forward, zigzag, and then land. Now this, as you might notice, is like a conglomeration, if that's the word, of pink and blue. So just remember what you did in pink and blue. Just go down, prepare your flick, go smoothly, and if you're not making it because you're flicking too lightly, just go a little bit higher. Just keep going a little bit higher until you can somewhat make it, but never too high to where that thing starts like going red unless you're doing those turns. If something like strafing, going off a ramp, it should almost never be red. Zigzag, land on the ramp, and over there you want to kind of like brace yourself because you're gonna go fast. I'll try to do it slow, around the same pace that the majority of people are going to be playing at. So they might go here, they might flick up, and then they go down, and then you want to B-hop on that ramp. That would be the easiest thing for most people, to just hop on that ramp. It'll be kind of hard at first, just like the rest of this map, but once you can get that B-hop, it'll be kind of useful. And then you can start doing it in faster runs, or whenever I hit it somewhat. And keep going faster and faster. Keep getting better times. Well, that's the name of the game here. And here. Another example of purple. Now here, a lot of people will want to flick up as high as they can to try to do that spiral. And that's not good. You want to barely flick here, like barely, like half a block flick or a full block flick, depending on how fast you're going. Like if you're going this fast, you do even have to flick, I think. Yeah, you do even have to flick. Never mind, you did have to flick, but you know what I mean. And then you should be able to go more forward instead of going up and then going straight down. You want to go in a curved line downwards. Now altogether, white should look something like this. And you want to right there. Now here gets like weird. I might die here because I'm unprepared to go left. But just like pink, you want to go pick a side, either right or left, and then just going straight and through as many columns as you can, and then move left or right, depending on where you are. And then that should be like, that's fine. That should be like a more aggressive flick, I'd say, to there. Because you're going to be having a lot of trouble, especially if you don't know what you're doing, going really fast on that ramp, and then just going through that hole, then you're going to be like freaking out, and then you're going to hit your head at the end. That's not fun. Alright, wait. Let me actually go there and actually show what I'm doing. Now here, it's gonna be weird. What you saw was weird. Just pretend you're at blue there, and you want to go a little forward than you might think you would need to, but not too much to where you would hit a wall, because there is a wall there. But it's a little farther than you might think. Now let me try that again, but in full motion without explaining. And then you want to hit that ramp. Now, here, if you're kind of scared, yeah, I understand. So, here, a lot of people will mess up because they'll either slam into that ramp like that, lose all their speed, and then not be able to go here. So, yeah, just remember the fundamentals. Go away from the ramp and catch yourself. Away from the ramp and catch yourself. If you have to say that in your head over and over, that's okay. So, yeah. And then air strafe. And then here, if it's your first time beating it, flick up. But not like, you want to go a little slower, like a curve. See how I'm going like slow and then faster? You want to do that but on a faster scale, like, and you should have enough momentum. Okay, cool. Now if you followed my really bad explanation all the way through, you should have beaten the map, and congrats. Now altogether, Yeah, good luck out there. Bye.